to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. So I'm back with another video. I really do enjoy making these videos for you guys. So I'm gonna try, and I say try, okay? Don't get mad at me if I don't. Because work has been really hectic recently, but because I do enjoy making these videos, I'm gonna try my best to upload at least once a week. So if you guys like these videos, please subscribe, like them. Started, okay? Like usual, I am going to be drinking in this video, and today my drink of choice is some wine. Okay, we're gonna be classy today. So if you guys want to drink with me or whatever you guys want, go get them. Let's just get started. Right, so today's story is going to be a little bit different. Um, it is scary. Like, the situation is scary, okay? There's not going to be any ghosts or anything like that. And it is a lengthy story. It does have a lot of detail. I'm going to try my best to just kind of fly by the details, just to get to the point. So, I mean, let's just get started, right? This story does take place when I'm in college. So I'm around 18 years old. I'm a freshman in college. And at this time, I am living with my grandparents. The college I was going to was like 25 minutes away from where I lived. So my grandparents had to take me, and because they didn't want to take me every single day, they told me, hey, you're gonna have to take the bus, the public bus. And, I was like, that's fine. I mean, I don't mind it, like it's okay. So what they would do, so every morning, they would take me behind Walmart, and there was like a little station, a little bus station behind Walmart. So they would drop me off there, and then I'll get the bus there, and then I'll go to my college. And then if I get out early, if there was like sun out, I would get the bus from my college, and then I would go to the bus station. And at the bus station, I would get another bus that would take me to a bus stop that was close to where I lived. And it wasn't super close, it was a walk, okay? I had to walk maybe like 3 minutes to get my house, or like 2 minutes. It wasn't too bad. I had to walk and then walk across a park, and then there was an apartment. So right next to the park were my apartments. Well, one day I got out of college, and I get the bus, I take it to the bus station, and then I was gonna get the next bus to go to my home, right? Well, for some reason that day that bus was delayed. It was like 15 minutes delay. So I was like, girl, I am not gonna stay here and wait for the bus outside for 15 minutes. It's way too hot. It was like 100 degrees. I'm gonna go inside a building. So that bus station had a little building, and inside that building they had like vending machines, they had restrooms, they had TVs. And on those TVs, obviously they like have the news, but they also had the time that the bus was gonna get there. So they had like updates, and they would tell you like, hey, your bus arrives in 15 minutes, or your bus arrives in 3 minutes. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go inside this building. I'm gonna sit down. Plus, there's air conditioner, okay? So I'm gonna go enjoy that, listen to music and play with my phone while I wait for the bus. I get there, I sit down, I start listening to music, minding my own business, when all of a sudden the doors open. And I look up, and when I looked up, there's a guy that was in his early 20s, I want to say. He walks in, and we make that weird eye contact, you know what I mean? Like when you look at a stranger and you make like that weird eye contact. So that's what happened. We kind of like made eye contact, and because I was super shy at the moment, or back then I was super shy, more than right now, okay? So I kind of just like looked, made that weird eye contact, and I just looked down at my phone and just started like playing with my phone or whatever. Finally, my bus arrives. So on the TV it says bus arrived. I get up and I started walking towards my bus. I noticed that the guy that went inside the building, he got up too, and he was right behind me, and he was heading the same direction I was heading. So I mean, it's not weird, like people could take the same bus, like that's nothing out of the ordinary. But I just noticed that, okay? I just noticed that he was right behind me. We walked to the bus, we got in line to pay, and then finally we paid, and that's it. We sat down. So he sat right back of me. I didn't, like, I didn't really thought about it. I was like, whatever, sit wherever you want, you do you. Finally, my bus gets to my bus stop, and I press the little bell to let them know, like, hey, this is my stop. So the bus stops, and I get off. I noticed that I'm not the only person that gets off at that stop. There is one more person that gets off, and it's, of course, that guy. So I don't want to just say that guy, okay? So I am going to name him. I'm going to name him John. So John gets off of the bus, the same bus stop that I got off. I start walking towards my apartment. And I noticed that again, he's right behind me, okay? But if you guys know me, I am a really fast walker. So we kind of had like a distance between us, okay? He wasn't like right behind me, right? Like, like he wasn't like that, but we had like a distance. So, I mean, I didn't really mind it. I was like, whatever, I'm trying to get to my home. So I just walk, I get to the park, and once I'm in the park, I noticed that he is not that far behind now. Now he's a little bit closer to the point that I could hear him, and I feel that he's like pretty close to me. So, he kind of just like tells me like, hey, I turn around and I kind of slow down so he could catch up to me. And he's like, hey, I think I know you. I've seen you in this park a lot, and I think you live really close, right? And girl, I was like, that's kind of weird that someone knows that I go to that park often, because he wasn't wrong, okay? He was right. I went to that park often because I lived right next to it. And at the time, my cousins used to live with us. So I would go out with them a lot, and I would go to the park often. So he wasn't wrong, okay? And it kind of scared me. It creeped me out a little bit because like really you pay attention to that. So anyways, he tells me this, and I kind of just like I giggled, okay? I was just like, okay, like um it's a little weird, but I'm not judging. I'm not gonna judge you. That's fine. I just told him like, yeah, you're right, like I do live close by, and that's all I told him. We got to the end of the park. Once we got there, I told him, okay, well, I have to go, bye. And he told me, all right, well, bye. And that's it. So he went the opposite direction. I went this way, and he went that way. Hold up. Let me need a drink, because this is where things get a little weird and tricky, okay? All right, so I want to say like 2 weeks later, um, same situation, okay? So I get out of college, I get into the bus, and then I get to the bus station. Once I'm at the bus station, again, that bus was delayed. So I'm like, I'm not gonna wait here in the hot sun. So I'm just gonna go inside the building, cool off. Get there, I sit down, I start playing with my phone, and again, the door's open. Okay, and guess who? John. So John walks in, and instead of sitting like he went across me and sat like on another side, he literally sat right next to me. And this guy started having a full on conversation with me, okay? I honestly do not remember the conversation we had, but it was like a get to know conversation, you know, like what's your age or what's your favorite color, like those type of questions. And or you have a boyfriend, like that, okay? So he was like talking to me, having this full on conversation with me, and I was like, all right, whatever. Finally, our bus gets there, so I'm telling him, like, hey, our bus is here, let's go get in line. We got in line, and we went inside the bus. So once we're in the bus, he sat again right next to me, okay? Like, if he knew me, like, if he was my best friend, you know, like, he just sat right next to me, and he still kept on going on and on conversation. Again, I don't really remember what. Finally get to our bus stop, you know, I rang the bell, we get off, and it's just the two of us again, like the first time. So we start walking, and this whole entire time, he's still talking to me, okay? He's still having a full on conversation with me. So finally, like the last time, we get to the end of the park. I tell him again, okay, nice talking to you. I'll see you another day. Goodbye. And this time, girl, this time was not the same, okay? He looked at me and he was all like, hey, invite me to your apartment. And I was like, I'm sorry, like I can't invite you to my apartment. And he gets a little upset and he's like, why? And I told him, well, first off, I barely know you. And second of all, my grandparents live there. They're very, very strict, okay? So they don't like just a random guy walking into their apartment, okay? Oh, and I know my grandma was gonna get mad at me, so I was like, no, I'm not gonna risk it. Like, I'm sorry, you can't go into my apartment. And he kind of got upset, okay? He was like, no, like, I don't believe you. Like, I'm going to your apartment. So he started walking in the direction of my apartment. Again, keep in mind that this dude knew kind of the general area where I lived. He didn't know the exact apartment, but he knew that I lived right next to the park, okay? It was like obvious that I lived right there. So he started walking towards my apartment, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, what do I do? All these thoughts kind of came into my head. I was like, what if I lead him to another apartment? But then I was like, what if I do that? And then he noticed that it's not my apartment and that I can't open the door and he's just gonna get mad at me and something's gonna happen. So I was like, you know what? Let's just let's just go to my apartment. I know my grandparents are there. It's very rare that they're not there. So I was like, let's just go to my apartment and I hope my grandma's there and she will help me out and do something about it, you know? So we started walking and walking, and it's kind of like a long hallway getting to my apartments, and we finally get there. Once we get to my apartments, we're outside my door, and he asked me, hey, can I have a glass of water? And at this point, girl, you know, like maybe it was a dumb decision, but I had no plan, you know. I kind of just agreed to go along with this and just hope, you know, my grandparents will save me. So I just told him, okay, fine, like I'll get you a glass of water. So I go inside in my apartment, and guess who walks right behind me? And it's John. So John walks right behind me, and he's inside my apartment at this point. The apartments that we were living were a two-story apartment, and my grandparents' room was in the bottom, and then all the other rooms were on the top, right? So it's like if my grandma knew that something was up, because once we walked in and we're inside the apartment, you just hear her door wide open, like just open up. And she gets out of the room And when she gets out of the room, the first thing that you see, it's the kitchen, and we were in the kitchen. And she noticed that there's a guy there. Oh, girl, like, Lord have mercy in her soul, because she got super upset, okay? She got so upset. And my grandma, if you know her, she could be the sweetest lady ever. But if you get her upset, she's upset, okay? Like, she is gonna scream, yell, say all kind of stuff that I can't say here, okay? So, um, she gets out of the room. She noticed that that guy is there, and she starts yelling at him, okay? Full on yelling at him, saying, "Get out of my house. This isn't a motel. Who you think you are, just walking into my house?" Like, other things that I can say, okay? It's like, you should have seen his face, okay? Like, he just kind of like, he just looks at her like, "I'm sorry," like, and he just says sorry, and he just ran, okay? He booked it so fast that I was like, oh, like, that's what you get. Well, then it was my turn, okay? It was my turn to get yelled at. So my grandma looks at me, and she tells me, like, "Are you kidding me? You know the rules. You know you're not supposed to bring guys in. Like, this isn't a motel for you to bring anyone you want." And I broke down, and I started crying, and I told her I'm so sorry, but he was actually following me home. I didn't want to bring him home. I told him not to come home with me, but he just didn't listen, and he didn't want to leave me alone. So the only thing that I could think of is get home, and I know that she was going to be there and hopefully help me out. So I tell her all of this, and she just hugs me, and she tells me, "Are you serious? Like, you're not playing around with me?" And I tell her, "No, like, I swear that I didn't want this, like, I didn't want this guy following me home, but he did." And she apologized, she hugged me, and she said that she loved me, and that she's glad that she was there and that nothing happened. And after that, that I've never ever saw that guy again. Okay, so that was the last time I saw him, and I'm just so grateful that my grandparents were there, because, girl, honestly, if they weren't there, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what would happen. Okay, so that's it. That's my story. That's the time that a guy followed me home, and it's just kind of a warning. It's a warning for all of you guys, be careful. Please be careful, especially if you're walking by yourself. It doesn't matter if it's nighttime, it doesn't matter if it's daytime. It's dangerous. It really is, especially when you're a girl. So, just be careful, and I hope you guys enjoy this video. You're gonna see more of me. Like this video, please subscribe if you do like these videos and want to listen more to my stories. And thank you for watching.